You feel lost. It's not something easy to admit, is it? Especially nowadays. Everything seems to move forward except you. The body keeps going, tasks get done, but inside, it's as if something has shut down. It's not regular sadness. It's not physical exhaustion. It's a lack of direction, like your soul is wandering without a map, without a destination. We call this internal misalignment. It's not just you. Thousands of people right now are feeling the same tightness in their chest. That urge to understand what's happening in their lives. That doubt about whether they're on the right path or if they got lost a long time ago. But most people keep going. They push the pain away with distractions. They silence the soul with routine. This feeling of being lost is not the end. What you're going through now is a transition, a breaking point between who you were out of survival and who you need to become out of truth. And this message didn't come to you by accident. It's a spiritual answer, a response you asked for, maybe in silence, maybe without realizing it. Today, you will hear what your mind couldn't put into words. The message your higher self has been waiting to deliver for a long time. But to receive it, you need to make a choice. Keep ignoring the calling, or open yourself to it now. The most common mistake here is trying to solve everything with the rational mind. Looking for external answers, rushing into decisions, changing direction without first understanding what really needs to change. What you're feeling isn't a lack of purpose. It's a lack of reconnection with yourself. The feeling starts slowly. You wake up with your body functioning, you do what you have to do, fulfill what's expected of you, but something inside feels out of place. You look at your life and don't see direction. You don't feel connected to what you do or to the people around you, and you can't quite explain why. This creates a constant discomfort. You try to convince yourself it's just a phase, that you're tired, that you need a vacation, a new project, something to bring back your energy. But none of that works. The emptiness is still there, and over time it grows. This state is dangerous because it's silent. On the outside, everything seems under control, but inside you've already lost your sense of meaning. And the more you try to fill that emptiness with responsibilities, distractions, or even new goals, the farther you feel from yourself. The feeling of being lost isn't about a lack of intelligence, ability, or strength. It's about a lack of alignment with something deeper, the need for truth, for meaning, for connection with something greater. The point where you are now is most common during times of transition, when a part of your life starts falling apart internally, even if nothing seems visibly wrong. It's when the soul begins to say, "This doesn't work anymore." This kind of pain isn't solved with quick fixes. It requires listening. It requires you to stop running from yourself and start looking more honestly at your life. Everything that's falling apart now is not a punishment. It's a calling. It's your soul trying to take you out of autopilot, because you weren't born to survive while pretending everything is fine. You were born to live in truth. Many people mistake this process for failure or a personal crisis, but it's not. It's a spiritual transition. Your soul has realized that you're ready to move into a new cycle, and it's trying to guide you to that new place. But it won't push you. It will only nudge you, repeatedly until you stop resisting. If you've made it this far, it's not a coincidence. It's confirmation. The soul's whisper isn't dramatic. It doesn't arrive as a big revelation or an instant miracle. It shows up in the details, in small repetitions, in a persistent feeling that what once surrounded you no longer makes sense. People you used to tolerate now drain your energy. Activities that once felt important now seem empty. You feel like you're being called to something greater, but at the same time, you don't understand what's happening. This causes confusion, because the mind wants logic, wants control, wants certainty. But the soul communicates in a different way. It sends signs, sensations, subtle pressure. It makes you grow tired of what no longer serves you. It disrupts your comfort zone on purpose. And if you keep trying to ignore that movement, life starts to tighten. Relationships go into crisis, opportunities vanish, your energy runs out. It's as if the universe is stopping you from continuing on a path that's no longer yours. Maybe you're at that point now, realizing that what once worked doesn't work anymore. Feeling that something inside you is asking for more truth, more freedom, more meaning. And even if you can't yet name what you're feeling, the calling has already begun. Discomfort has a purpose, and the most challenging part is dealing with internal resistance. Because as soon as the soul starts to move, the ego tries to protect itself. And that's when conflict arises. The ego is the part of you that wants to keep everything under control. It doesn't like change, even when change is necessary. Prefers what's predictable. It prefers familiar pain over an unknown future. When you begin to step off the automatic path, the ego reacts by making you doubt yourself, by sabotaging you, by distracting you. Have you noticed how easily you get distracted when you try to do something different? When you start thinking about change, taking a risk, or looking for a new direction, voices begin to show up in your mind, saying things like, "What if it goes wrong?" Or "You're not ready yet." These thoughts come from the wounded ego, from everything you've been through and used as protection. But now, that same mechanism is pulling you away from your center. It's keeping you stuck in repeating cycles. Be honest with yourself. How many decisions have you made based on the fear of disappointing someone? How many times have you held back what you really thought or felt just to keep up the appearance that everything's fine? That's the point. The ego has taken full control, and you've lost touch with your center, which is where your truth, your clarity, and your direction live. There's no way to eliminate the ego, but who is making the decisions in your life today? Your essence or your fear? Because as long as fear is in charge, you'll feel stuck and lost. You'll live trying to avoid pain instead of seeking growth. Losing your center happens gradually, not just once. But it begins the moment you choose to trade what you feel for what others expect. Has it ever happened that you think of someone and they suddenly message you? Or you feel an urge to go to a specific place, and somehow a person or situation takes you exactly there? Do you think all of that is just coincidence? Your higher self, the most elevated and conscious part of who you are, doesn't communicate with direct words. It speaks through signs, through patterns. It never goes silent. We're the ones who aren't present enough to notice. Think now about how many times you've said, "I should have listened to my intuition." Your higher consciousness was trying to guide you before you got hurt. But in order to hear it, you need to turn down the noise. And the noise isn't out there. It's inside. It's the repetitive thoughts, the beliefs you've never questioned, the urgencies you've placed above yourself. The higher self speaks clearly, but it respects your free will. It will never impose. It will show. It will send signs. It will align people, conversations, songs, memories, and even losses, all as part of a message. But are you paying attention? A lot of people wait for a grand answer, but the deepest answers almost always come in silence, in the space between one thought and the next. If right now something in this is stirring something inside you, this is the sign. You don't need proof. You need presence. Holding up a life that no longer serves you is exhausting. Trying to stay motivated to find energy. There comes a moment when you see everything you built start to fall apart. That's called the 0 point. And yes, it feels like the end. It's an uncomfortable moment because it demands that you stop holding up what's false, while you still don't know what will take its place. Most people try to escape the 0 point as quickly as possible. But that only drags out the process. Because the 0 point is not a punishment. It's a clean space, a neutral ground where the soul can reorganize without the interference of the ego. Here, nothing external will fix it. And there's only one way through: to stay present with everything you feel without running away. But all of this has a purpose: to break the illusion that you were in control, to dismantle the structure that kept you from your truth, and to leave you, bare and vulnerable, with the only real thing left, yourself. Feeling like everything is falling apart doesn't mean your life is over. It means that now you can choose with awareness. Let what no longer represents your truth die. Breathe. You are not broken. You are available for the new. Now that the old has been dismantled and you're in this clear state, something powerful begins to emerge. Your inner wisdom. And here's something I need to tell you. There is no map. There's no exact plan. The direction doesn't come from the outside. It is, and always has been, within you. At this point, most people start seeking external validation. They ask friends, watch dozens of videos, follow advice that doesn't always resonate. All of that is understandable. But your inner wisdom is not just a nice idea. It's real. It's practical. It's the part of you that observes everything calmly, that doesn't react impulsively, that recognizes patterns and learns from them. Ask yourself, what inside me already knows what needs to be done? Maybe you're waiting for the ideal moment, a clear sign, absolute confirmation. But the truth is, you already know. You already feel it. Accept that this quiet knowing is trustworthy. Try looking at a decision you need to make right now. Does your body tighten or expand? Do you contract or breathe more deeply? Do you feel relief or tension? That's the language of your inner wisdom, and you need to practice it. But you also need to take responsibility. You can't keep outsourcing your choices. You can't keep living based on other people's expectations. The moment now is one of reconnection, with your spiritual autonomy, your intuition, your true direction. Look at your routine, at the people you spend time with, at the choices you've been making. Do they bring you closer to your essence, or do they take you further away from it? Because if something constantly needs to be forced, if you have to shrink yourself just to keep things stable, then the cost is too high. It's costing you yourself. The soul is not something mystical or far away. It's your true identity. It's the part of you that never got corrupted, even after everything you've been through. It was there when you fell and when you got back up. And returning to your soul doesn't take effort. It takes honesty. It takes stopping the act, the need to impress, the effort to fit in. It takes looking at your life with honesty and saying, this is me. This is not me anymore. A lot of what you built while disconnected from your soul will need to be reassessed. But what is born from this reconnection is solid, real light. Not because it's easy, but because it's aligned. You are not lost. You are disconnecting from what is no longer yours. The discomfort is just the process of letting go. Even if no one else understands, even if you're still afraid, the right direction never comes with guarantees. Comes with peace. If this message stirred something inside you, stay close. This space is for those who feel, even without knowing how to explain, that it's time to reconnect with something greater. Subscribe, share, like the video, leave a comment about what you're going through right now. The decision you make from here on isn't about surviving anymore. It's about living in alignment with who you truly are. Your higher self brought you here, but the next choice is yours.